So in the last tutorial, we laid out the textures for the base crate and we laid out the textures for these straps so they look like Wally's wheels. And now let's go ahead and deal with these buckles. So the crate buckles here. My idea was to kind of make them look like Wally's little clampy hands. So what I decided to work with is I went to a smart material, and the smart material that I chose for the buckles was an old iron. So I'm going to type in iron, and there we go, iron old. And I'm going to set that in because I thought I really like that base. Let's get rid of this layer. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and paint up on this because this is a really good start, but I would like to paint in some rust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a custom layer, and I'm going to, kind of create my own custom brush from this. Let's close out of this and let's see what's available inside our brush menu. So I'm going to pull this over, and I'm going to ask to look at this in larger icons and just see. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. I want something that looks like, rust particles. Like, that's kind of cool. Ooh, the splatter brush. Check that out. Whoa, is that painting a normal? Hold on a second. Let me shrink this down a bit. Oops, wrong mouse. Okay. Oh, it does. It's painting normals. And it's painting, I think it's still using that stitch height map. Let's get rid of that. Interesting. Okay, let's double click this again. I want to see what this does. Oop. Bad habit. Sometimes I press B like I'm going to control the brush stroke in Maya. Okay, doesn't seem to do much. Let's try with color. We're going to take away the height option. Let's just add some red just so we can see it. Ooh, I like that. Of course, red is a bit egregious to use, so let's pick that rust material again, the one that we liked from before. Yeah, and of course, if we apply a multiply to that, it's going to look even better. Yeah, that looks so cool. So let's get in there and just paint some rust in, just like a little kiss of rust. Yeah, that looks cool. Let's do that to this one now. And I don't have to paint in just the 3D view. I could do like I did with my tire treads and paint in the 2D view as well. That can be really helpful. Just press F. Again, the awesome thing about good UVs. And of course I can use shift right click to kind of change my lighting so I can see what these things look like with better lighting. There you go. Alright, let's see how that looks with the crate. Yeah, those look great. Maybe, I wonder what overlay would look like. Oh, look at that. That looks like an even, like a richer red color. I like it. I want that. All right, let's try shift right. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Cool. I dig it. So, I can cheat. Someone do rust. Maybe I don't want to necessarily, I could just grab both these layers, for instance, and copy and paste them onto my handles. That's what I mean by cheating. I don't think this rust would make sense on my handles, but I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Oh, no, not cut layer. My bad. Go back. Copy layer. So this is just kind of a fun trick if you're interested in copying a texture set to another section. So I'm going to grab these handles, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste that same iron on there. Cool, cool. And then I probably do want to just create another drawing layer for this. Let's see. I think I'm going to do 2D instead. Cool. Alright, let's see how that came out on the crate. Ooh, I like it. Yeah, that was pretty easy. Alright, now let's deal with the top box. That's the last bit. We've got, on the top box, we've got these latches, so these little latchy things, and we've got the top box itself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my crate, and I'm going to grab these two layers. Let's copy those layers. And I'm going to put them on the box, just as a start, because the decal that I want to put on the top box, if you look at Wally, I want to put this black and white stuff on there, and you see it's painted on top of this base yellow, so I'm just going to copy this base yellow in. And I'm going to do the same thing to these little latches, which I don't care all that much about these, so I'm pretty much done with the base latches. They match the crate cool. I really want to focus on this box. That's where my interest is. Alright, so this box is going to be painted up to look like Wally's black and white stripiness thing on his arms. So what I'll do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to grab my basic brush. So I don't want to deal with this textured brush anymore. I want to go with this basic soft brush. I'm going to do away with the material, so I'm painting only with color. This is a decal. We don't need any of this other stuff. Well, I mean, you might want roughness, but not if it's not like wildly different from your metal. So I guess that's fine. We'll keep roughness so it's consistent. And now we're going to go ahead and use our stencil. So what is a stencil? A stencil, you're able to click on it and you're able to assign any sort of alpha map that you want, and it'll project on the screen to paint through instead of painting it on the brush directly. So let's use stripes. See, oh, looky there. That looks really close, whoa, to what's on Wally. So if we look at Wally, those are the stripies. And so I want to add these stripies here. I can do this in 2D mode or 3D mode. I want to shrink my screen down a smidge. There we go. Kind of figure out where I want this to be. I think I like that. And what I want to do is actually don't want to use this basic brush. I kind of want to use a different alpha channel. Let's see what alphas they got. I want something that is kind of worn. Let's see what kind of. I like Kyle brushes. Kyle is, I don't know who Kyle is, but his brushes look very painted. Ooh, this is cool. Okay, so I got this painted on white. Let's start with a gray. Let's not go full, oh, it is gray, cool. I don't want to go full white with this yet. And let's just paint some of this in. Okay, cool. So we're doing some white stripes, maybe add a little more white in. Yeah, cool. All right, now we're definitely going to need some black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my stencil. And, oh, yeah, I kind of went at this a weird way. Let me go ahead and delete this. Oh, hold on, what did I even paint on? I think I painted on this sharpen mask. My bad. Helps if you create a new layer. I thought I did. Huh. All right, let's start with, so I want black and white. I don't just want white. Actually, let's bring that stencil back because we can always invert this. So check this out. Let's go back with that, with what we were doing. We have the stencil in, we have this base color in. Let's paint this white in. Okay, and maybe add some gray just to add some, yeah, some character. And then what we can do is we can invert the mask. So we go over here and click invert. And now let's use black space color. Sweet. Maybe something a little less black, something like almost a gray. What's cool is the stencil disappears as you're working. Bring it back to black. Yeah. Just want it to feel worn, that's why I'm going with a little bit of gray in there. Okay, let's turn the stencil off and see how this looks. Cool. I mean, the decal definitely bleeds more onto one side than the other, but we can fix that with a mask. So let's just drop a mask on it. We'll do a black mask so everything's turned off, and we will use our color picker, set this to white, and let's just say I want this section here, and that's it. So we got more of a sticker appeal. Still feels very sharp on this side, but what's cool is I can just use an eraser, and I want to apply Kyle's brush to the eraser, and now I can erase some of that sharp edge. There we go. Let's see how it looks with the crate. Neato. I feel like I want it to be a little darker under here, like it looks a little too, I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe I want to erase some of the sticker up here, just a touch. Yeah. Make it a little more worn. Okay, cool. So that's how we got the black and white that you would see on Wally's arm now on top of our crate. Sweet. Let's see. I think I'd want the sides of this crate to probably be a little darker, like in here underneath the mask. It does feel a little weird right there. Let's bring the opacity back up. I think the thing that's bothering me, let's bring back that brush and shrink it down, is just how sharp this is right here. Or I guess that's not the right side. Is it this side? What is this side? Oh, it is the front. Yeah, it just feels a little too sharp. Yeah, and back here. Just want to look kind of worn. All right, cool. So, I mean, I think that's enough. If I wanted to, I could also drop the opacity a little. It wasn't, make it feel even more worn. It's a little too worn. Like that, maybe. Cool. So I just dropped it by 2. Maybe it's just my mind thinking it looks better. Yeah, I dig it. I think I definitely want to add some contrast to the base metal, but that can happen later. I want to focus on getting this done. All right, so last thing is the stencil for the Wally. So I had Wally's logo on here. How did I do that? Well, I'm going to go ahead and go to my crate material again, and I'm going to create a new layer. I'll label it. It's good practice so I know what the heck is on this layer. And I'm going to go back over here to my brushes, and I'm going to click on basic. So let's pull up the basic brush again. And this time let's do basic soft. And I want to load in a stencil. So how do I load in a stencil? Because we've been playing with presets this whole time. Go down here to the bottom of the screen and press this plus sign. And then say add resource. And on my desktop I have this Wally logo. I'm going to go ahead and open it. And I'm going to make it an alpha, and it's going to be in this session and import. And now when I type in wall, okay, I guess it's not called wall. Let's go ahead and just go to libraries, your assets, and it'll be under alphas. It's not under that. For this project, it should be under the alpha section. I don't see it. All libraries, or maybe just this project, right? No. Huh. What did I call that file? I called it wall-e. Let's type in wall again. There it is. Okay, cool. We found it. So now that I know where to find it, I'm going to go under stencil and I'm going to look for it. Alpha wall. There it is. Cool. So I'm going to just zoom in on where I want this to be. Let me just see where this shows up. Okay, cool. This is where I would want to rotate my screen on my 2D view, and I hold down shift to snap. I just want to bring this in like there. I think that'll do. And let's start with painting some black here. It's actually too soft. I want it to be more grungy. Let's go back over here. Summon the Kyle brushes. And let's go with this one, the paint box one. I love this one. Let's shrink it down a smidge. That looks cool. All right, this part over here should be red. So let's go back to this color and make it red. Oh, maybe not too bright a red. Let's go with a darker red, something a little more subdued. I'm gonna erase that, actually, and repaint it. Ah, what happened? It turned off my stencil. Come back, stencil. Thank you. And my eraser doesn't seem to be working. Oh, because I have it set to height maps. Very important. Okay, that's... cool. Now let's go back to this. Yeah, that's better. All right, turn off the stencil. Big on, stencil. And there we go. The Wally crate. All right, in the next tutorial, we'll go ahead and render out some screenshots of this in Substance Painter using Substance Painter's render mode. I hope you had fun following along. If you want, I mean, you certainly don't have to texture your crate like this. That's not the intent. The intent is just to show you how to use some tools, how to use stenciling, how to make a straight line using the tread, and painting only with one channel, like this is just the height map, using particle brushes, and attaching custom brushes to the eraser, just like we did the paintbrush. I know I got a little caught up in places, but hopefully it was still a useful tutorial for you, and I will catch up with you next time in the next tutorial. Here we go.